2026 is shaping up to be a big year for racing games, with the likes of Star Wars Galactic Racer and Forza Horizon 6 just on the horizon, and we've already had Gear Club Unlimited 3 and Carmageddon Rogue Shift. So today I wanted to highlight some upcoming racing games, both from indie developers and some larger ones, that I think you should probably know about. Whilst everything here may not be for you, hopefully you'll find something on this list that you didn't know existed and you might want to pick up later down the line. So enough yapping, let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to start with an honourable mention, because technically this isn't so much a racing game, but it is still a driving game. This is Wheelmates. This is a co-op adventure, so a two-player game where you play as two RC cars. You have to solve puzzles, platform challenges, stuff like that. It's kind of It Takes Two, but with cars, which sounds kind of cool, to be honest. Now, there is a playtest ongoing at the moment that's running until the 1st of March, which you can access on Steam now. Now, the demo is a lot of fun, the handling is not quite there yet, but I think when the final product releases, this could be something to watch out for. And whilst this doesn't have a set release date yet, this should hopefully be out by the end of the year. Anyway, now that's out the way, let's talk about some actual racing games. Okay, so first up we have Backseat Champions. This is a Formula 1 game that blends several different genres, racing, strategy, and a little bit of roguelike sprinkled in there for good measure. So you don't actually have direct control of your driver. Instead, you can choose the strategy, the tyres, and as you progress through the race you earn XP, and each time you level up you'll get an option of a few different upgrades. You can stack upgrades like aero boost, slipstream, you can reduce the rate your tyre grip levels start to fall. There's a lot that you can do, as well as being able to plan your pit stops. There's even an upgrade that just lets you drive faster in the pit lane, so that's kind of cool. The beauty with this game is that every race is going to be unique. There'll be different race lengths, dynamic weather conditions, and of course the random upgrades, and the AI in this game are powered by machine learning. So all the racing is real and nothing is, well, scripted. So a lot of what makes Formula 1 fun to watch is that unpredictability, and that is the same here. Except sometimes that unpredictability can be a bit more frustrating when it's actually happening to you. So incredibly, this game is being developed by just one person, and the demo is out now on Steam, and already there are the makings of a very good game. Eventually, the plan will be to not just have Formula 1 cars, but GTs and modern endurance cars, just to name a few. So I'm super impressed by what I've played of Backseat Champions so far, and to be honest, I'm not very good at it. The best place I got was 4th. I just seem to choose the worst upgrades every time and have no strategic thinking in my brain, but that's definitely a skill issue, because I still had a lot of fun in the meantime. The game is due to come out in early access at some point later this year, so if you want to get notified when that happens, then head over to Steam and slap that one on your wish list. The game is planned to have a full career mode as well as multiplayer where you can race against your friends. It all sounds very ambitious for a solo project, but based on what I've played so far, I do have some pretty high hopes that this should stick the landing. Anyway, let's move on to our next game. So next up is one you may have actually already heard of. This is Screamer, an arcade-style racing game developed and published by Milestone, the same studio known for the absolutely fantastic Hot Wheels Unleashed, but with a bold new twist. Unlike traditional, more realistic racers, Screamer is blending racing with narrative elements, anime-inspired visuals, combat mechanics, and some over-the-top arcade action. So what actually happens on the track in this game? Well, the aim is to deliver both classic arcade racing and something totally fresh. It's not just drifting and top speeds, but your cars will have combat abilities. Thanks to a mysterious tech called the Ecosystem, vehicles can not only speed up, but also attack and defend. You'll juggle boost, strike and shield, using smart offense and timing to outmaneuver your rivals. And once overdrive kicks in, it's total chaos, no brakes, no mercy, and massive speed. Hitting walls or obstacles during overdrive can be brutal, so skill does matter. The game will have online PvP as well as split-screen local multiplayer, so that's really cool as well. Aside from the very cool mechanics, another thing setting this game apart for me is the anime influence as well as the incredible visual presentation. I mean, just look at this, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. Am I a bit concerned about how it might run on my kind of average computer? Yes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, of course, from what I've seen, not everyone's reaction to this game has been unanimously positive. Some of the longtime fans of the original Screamer series have mixed feelings about this anime direction it's going in. But from what I've seen, the game's director has insisted that the core arcade racing essence remains intact, even with a different artistic direction. So, fingers crossed again, this will stick the landing. Unlike a lot of the other games on this list, this one actually has a set release date. And that release date really isn't very far away, expected to come out on the 26th of March this year. And if you get the deluxe edition, well then you get it a few days early, lucky you. Now before we go any further, if you're a fan of racing games, then please consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with my future uploads. And whilst you're at it, if you haven't already, please consider hitting like because it really makes a huge difference. Anyway, let's move on to our next game. So this is Driving Rogue, a fresh twist on driving games that blends classic arcade driving and drifting with roguelike progression. Imagine high-speed races where no two runs are the same, because the cityscape you drive through is procedurally generated every attempt. Every turn, every hazard and shortcut is different each time you play the game. Developed by Gravity Works and published by Gravity Works alongside Cosmic Shift Studios, this is a racing roguelike where reflexes are only as important as strategy and build choices. 2026 seems to be the year that we've all started to realise that driving and roguelike can be blended into one game, as we already had Carmageddon Rogue Shift as well as the game we looked at earlier, Backseat Champions. It's a very cool new subgenre to see, to be honest. Anyway, so you need to get score, and to get score you perform drifts, drive at top speed, have some near misses, and perform precision manoeuvres. The better your score, the better the options for upgrades at the end of your race seem to be. After each race, you'll visit a shop where you can unlock and combine powerful mods, upgrades, and abilities. And they aren't cosmetic, they're how you tailor your playstyle and push your next run further. The drifting and handling felt a little bit wonky to me at first, but I think it just needed some getting used to, because after a while I was starting to chain some pretty cool combos and get some really good scores. One of the most exciting aspects of the game is how you customize your runs. Those new mods and cards grant abilities and some stat boosts. They might make your car faster, recover from mistakes, or let you adapt to hazards better. And yes, there are multiple vehicles to unlock, each with its own handling and flair. Visually the game looks really nice, it's a very nice cel-shaded style that I always love to see in racing games. It is due to come out at some point later this year, with no set release date yet outside of just 2026. But there is now a demo on Steam as part of Next Fest, which is currently ongoing, so I would recommend you go and check this one out. So next up we have iRacing Arcade, which is a third-person racing game developed by Original Fire Games in partnership with iRacing Studios. Unlike its Big Brother simulation counterpart, this game strips away all the ultra-serious sim cred and instead delivers a fun, approachable and stylized arcade racing experience that still feels connected to real motorsport, which is really cool. It combines colourful visuals and easy-to-grasp handling with elements you'd expect in deeper racing games, official cars and tracks, team progression, weekly events, multiplayer action. It's all wrapped up into a package that players of all ages and skill levels can enjoy. After a few delays and a successful demo on Steam, iRacing Arcade is finally releasing on March 3rd, so we are very, very close to that now. And I'm looking forward to covering this game once it actually comes out. But anyway, what does the game actually involve? At its core, iRacing Arcade combines arcade racing fun with light team management and progression. You start small and grow from there. It features a variety of licensed cars and licensed tracks, including famous circuits like Imola and Bahrain International Circuit. The driving style is supposed to be approachable, easy to pick up, friendly to controllers and players who might not want full sim realism, but still rewarding clean racing and smart cornering and strategic use of tyres and fuel. Honestly, this is a game that feels like it was kinda made for me. I don't get all the time in the world to play lots of video games, and I certainly don't have the time to sink into sim races to actually get good at them. So having a nice middle ground like this is going to be right up my street. The game will have single player content such as a career mode, but it will also have multiplayer where you can race up to 11 other competitors from around the world, which is kinda cool. And again, like some of the other games in this list, I think it has a really nice visual design style. It's not mimicking ultra-real sims, it's like this stylized pocket version, and it kinda reminds me of the F1 All-Stars kart racer that came out back in the Xbox 360 days. Anyway, if you're a casual fan who's super interested in motorsport, I think iRacing Arcade is going to be a really nice jumping on point, and I would highly recommend checking it out when this game launches literally next week. So next up we have a game where you aren't racing against opponents so much, but racing against the clock. This is Stunt Paradise 2, an action-packed arcade racing platformer developed and published by indie developer Brian Media. It's the follow-up to the original Stunt Paradise, which, if you haven't played it, I also haven't played it, joke's on us, it actually looks really cool, but this time it's dialed up with more traps, bigger explosions, basically like Michael Bay on steroids. It's kind of like a mix between Trials, and I guess I'd have to say Joe Danger, wow that's a real deep cut, but Joe Danger for the stunts. It's part racing, part platformer, and all-out arcade madness. The full game is scheduled for release later in 2026 with a demo live now as part of Steam Next Fest. Across the stages you'll encounter lasers cutting across your path, buzzsaws spinning, explosive traps and mines, basically everything you'd expect from a game in this genre. Unlike pure arcade races where you just hold down the accelerator, Stunt Paradise 2 is leaning heavily on its physics engine, meaning that jumps, flips and landings feel dynamic and unpredictable, almost like a stunt-focused platformer, but with cars. Soaring through the air, balancing your car, and timing your throttle just right are all part of chaining larger stunts and beating levels. So yeah, if you're a fan of games like Trials or those old mini-clip bike games, or other physics-centric stunt titles, or you just love driving games that don't take themselves too seriously, then add this one to your wishlist and keep an eye out for its release. So this next game will be the second to last game I'll be talking about today, and this one is definitely much more of a casual recommendation or curiosity check more than anything else. This is Race Max Pro. Now if you know that name already, that's because it's a mobile game that's being ported to Steam. I played the demo and it was kind of fun. It gives the vibes of Asphalt, and if you're into those games then I think you'll probably appreciate this one too. It has a lot of cool licensed cars, races are completed in short bursts, so it's perfect for that kind of pick up and play, so I'd imagine this will suit nicely on a Steam Deck. The game features some pretty deep customization in both tuning and visual, which is pretty cool. There is a core single player career mode as well as online multiplayer, and it will also have time limited events because this is a mobile game. And speaking of which, I will err on the side of caution here and just say there will be microtransactions, so make of that what you will. But if you're a casual racing fan or an Asphalt fan, then maybe check this one out, as it will be free to play as well. So introducing our final game of this video. SpeedRunners 2 King of Speed is the sequel to one of the most iconic indie multiplayer platformers of the last decade. You could kinda see this as the Mario Kart of 2D platformers. This game aims to take that core competitive running formula from the first one, refining it with up to 8-player online and local play, some new vibrant graphics, improved netcode, and some new features. You pick a character and race across some really nicely designed maps while trying to stay ahead of your opponents and avoid elimination by any means possible. As you progress and more players get knocked out, the screen will shrink until finally there is only one player left standing. The game is currently slated for full release in 2026 across PC and consoles such as PlayStation, Xbox Series and Nintendo Switch, but that'll be after the initial PC launch window. There's a playable demo out now as part of Steam Next Fest, and I would highly recommend, if you like entertaining but incredibly hectic multiplayer experiences, SpeedRunners 2 would definitely be up your street. It's all about legs, reflexes and platforming mastery. Races will take place on 2D courses that are filled with obstacles, hazards and some really clever shortcuts. You can sprint, jump, slide, grapple and dash your way through levels, and while anyone can pick it up, like myself, true mastery comes from learning precise movement mechanics like wall runs, hooks and perfect timing, as well as just learning the maps. The original SpeedRunners was a mainstay in my family's multiplayer game library, and we played it quite a lot, so I'm quite excited for this sequel to see what it brings to the table. And so there you have it, there are some racing games coming out this year that I am super excited for. So let me know in the comments down below which of these games are you looking forward to the most. Personally, I'm really looking forward to Screamer, as that's not too far off, but I'm also quite intrigued by Backseat Champions. But anyway, share all your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. A massive shout out to my Patreon subscribers for the continued support, and all I really have left to say is thanks and goodbye.